The wheel of time turns, and ages come and pass, leaving memories that become legend. Legend fades to myth, and even myth is long forgotten when the age that gave it birth comes again. In one age, called the Fourth Age by some, the world has been broken and reforged. Now, the wind blows over a land about to give birth to a new age of legends. The wind was not the beginning. There are neither beginnings nor endings to the wheel of time. But it was a beginning. During the last battle, the Westlands were united as one under the banner of the dragon, Rand al'Thor. The dragon led them to victory against the shadow, bringing a new era of peace and prosperity to the land. The wheel turns on peace as it turns on all, however, and peace and prosperity faded as old grievances and mistrusts began to blossom anew, and soon the hard-won peace was lost. Borderlines were redrawn as squabbles over territory and resources flared. Now the world lies in conflict, waiting for a savior to be spun out by the wheel to reunite the world and lead them to a new golden age. A new age of legends.
Hello, Shadowcat back with a new series, and this is going to be a big one. God, it's going to be a big one. At least I hope it's going to be a big one. I don't know. I'm nervous, my palms are sweaty, my heart is racing. Can I do this? So this is going to be a brand new RimWorld series, The Rim of Time. And first, let me tell you exactly why I'm doing this. See, a couple of years ago, I read this series called The Wheel of Time. Now, I knew someone long before that who'd already read it, and they said that it was amazing. But I have a long list of things I need to get around to, and it takes me a really long time to get to them. But eventually I got around to this 15-book series? It's huge. Robert Jordan's The Wheel of Time is enormous. And it's good. It's damn good. It may be the best story that I have ever read. As a matter of fact, you know how when you're in school and they ask you, who's your hero? I never had an answer for that question. But if you asked me now, and I had to give an answer, Robert Jordan might actually be it. Storytelling has always been one of my best fortes, and I think he does it better than everyone else. So imagine my excitement when Amazon announces that they're going to go ahead and do a Wheel of Time series, and I immediately said, oh, this is going to be a train wreck. But I bided my time, I waited for it to come out, and it lived up to all of my expectations. So, now that I have seen that and seen what they're going to do with it, you know what we can do with the Amazon Wheel of Time? Yeah, we're going to do that. And I got to thinking, you know what? If Amazon can go ahead and desecrate it like that, well, surely I can do better. And so I already had a series planned for after Android Apocalypse was done, and I just said, you know what? Why don't we just skip that ahead? We'll go ahead and we'll do our own series. And we'll do it better. So welcome now to the Rim of Time. Our objective is simple. We're going to start off with almost nothing, and we just have to take ourselves to the Age of Legends. Along the way, we're going to have almost no friends, but we may make some friends along the way. We'll have to deal with various powers and things that I probably don't even want to fathom. But in the end, we're going to have a very fulfilling experience. I'm looking to build grand cities. I'm looking to have magic powers. Well, one magic power, but I'll explain it when we get there. If you've read the Wheel of Time, I can promise you this. There's going to be a lot of things in here for you to enjoy. And if you haven't read the Wheel of Time, one of the things that I can hope for is that I can pique your curiosity enough to go take a look for yourself. So without further ado, I don't want to spend a whole lot of time on mods. This is an enormous mod pack that I have been testing for a long time now. All you really need to know about it is I'm using the entire vanilla expanded suite to add lots of content and really flesh out the world. And we will be centering on two things. Number one, ideology, which will give us the ability to actually play as the Aes Sedai. And number two, Rimworld of Magic, which will give us our Aes Sedai. How is that going to play out? I don't know. So many things in Rimworld are random, I can't wait to go through and take a look at it. Without further ado, let's get into the Rim of Time. Alright, welcome to the new home of the Aes Sedai. Let's see what we've got. We have an entire world to build up, and we have to build it from this. Now, among the mods that I have, we have a need for water, food, shelter, everything that you would normally need. It's going to be a very realistic mod pack. And that means that our challenges for survival are going to be many. So we're going to have to secure ourselves a source of shelter, water, then food, and then find a way to defend it. All we've got, a few bows, a few knives, and the skills that we have. First off, why don't we actually go through and look at the people that we've got? So our first person, the only named characters so far, Weirin. Now, Weirin got a name because Weirin is currently on my Patreon. As a Patreon supporter, you too can get first pick in any game that I do that I can actually rename characters in. And since I will always have a Rimworld series going, there is always a place for new people on the Patreon and in my colonies. So that aside, violent plug aside, here's Weirin. Weirin, what do you do? You were a cave child turned plank cutter. You are incapable of violence, but that's because you are an undergrounder, you are a fast walker, but more importantly, you are my only magical person right now. You are a priest. And that's great. We're going to be able to use that, immediately. You can't heal yet, but the fact is, you're a priest. That's all we need. Right now you got Bestow Might, so it'll be good for someone else. We have this Skew Crickham combo. Look, leave a like and a comment down below, and you can be part of this colony too. And I say that because please, somebody take this character so I don't have to pronounce that anymore. I'm just going to call you Combo. You're a cave child who became a gatherer. You're an undergrounder, mountain lover, cat person, and a bisexual. Sure, I'm sure that's important to something. More importantly, though, you're a builder, a miner, and a planter. Now we have Camlin Bear. You were a soul survivor turned banish. You're also incapable of violence, which is probably not great. Also, you're incapable of social. You're thin-skinned, fun-loving, though. You're incapable of social, but fun-loving. Well, I hope you can entertain yourself. You're also ascetic, which is going to help out. And more importantly, you're also a constructor, and you're a cook. We needed a cook. Then we have Green Camino. You are only 16 years old, and you're just a bookworm. You don't do any dumb labor, but you are heat inclined, so it's never too hot for you. You're unhygienic, which, work on it. And you are a researcher, so that's good. And then we have Black Kabar. You were an abandoned child who turned into a healer. So you have a good melee skill, but you're a couch potato, big-boned, you're a coward, and you're gay. No one else here is gay, so you may be out of luck on that one. But you're a good melee fighter, and you're a doctor. So, that's what we have to work with. First things first, though, let's get everyone armed up. Just in case. I'm not too worried about being attacked. That's right, you won't do anything. One of the mods that we have in will actually help balance everything. So we have the mod called Ignorance is Bliss. And what that will do is it will cause anyone who is over a certain tech level to simply ignore us. They don't care about us. We're not worth their time. And that will keep us alive for a little bit. Now, that is only a small blessing because we are playing on the Randy Random Storyteller. On the difficulty, losing is fun. So, all the punches have been pulled. Now, these geysers are good because there will be winter here, there will be snow, and we will need a warm place. If we can't heat it ourselves, we may need a place like this. So, steam geysers, and maybe I can find one close to water? Not that one, not that one. Somewhere? Over here's a good one. So there's water here, there's fertile ground over here. We may be able to make something out of this. It's going to be kind of a long haul pulling everything over, but I think this will work. So let's sketch it out real quick. We need to have a room. And the biggest rooms you can make without having any supports in the middle, 12 by 12. So that will be our first room. We'll put this down and let everyone go. They're all going to grab a bite to eat. Now, a large part of this series is going to be just kind of giving them general directions and letting them figure it out themselves. One of the mods that I have in is random research, which I've used before. That means that I cannot control what they research at all. I can click on things, but I can't tell them to do it. That means that this entire colony is going to be at the mercy of what they decide to do, whether that is good or bad. While they're doing that, maybe we should take a little bit more of a look around. So this world is going to be very populated. Just to give you an idea, here's us. There's the world. It is a very, very populated world. And we're surrounded by a lot of different factions, which, if you're familiar with the Wheel of Time, might be familiar. Well, who do we have over here? Over here, this is the city of Benera. They're part of Murundi. This is the town of Going that belongs to Tyr. This is Udahurst, which is part of the Black Tower. This is Carroll Hill, which belongs to the Aiel. This is Duval, which belongs to Ilion. Over here, Jailbird's Pond, which belongs to Shara. And further up here is Palmwood, which belongs to Shinar. And that's just what's immediately around me. If we go further out, of course, there's even more. So we have neighbors. And neighbors are good. Unfortunately, at this exact moment, none of our neighbors like us. And some of them will never like us. Some of them are neutral, for the time being. For example, the Shan Chan are currently neutral, but that's because the Shan Chan currently don't know we exist. Same thing with the Black Tower, the Black Aja, and the Tuathaan. So at least we don't have to worry about them murdering us yet. They will come in time, though. Don't worry, they will come in time. Speaking of time, we should probably be spending ours better. Everyone right now is hauling things in, at least everyone who can haul things in. The only person who refuses right now is Camino. But I should be giving orders. First things first, shelter. We need to have shelter. So we come down here to structure. Let's build us a building. It's going to be our only building for the time being. But that's okay. We'll be able to expand from there. Who do we have on construction? 3 people are decent at it. Only 2 people have low skill in construction. But that's kind of okay. Also, let's make sure that we have as many doctors as we can. Okay, we have 2 doctors, but 2 doctors is good. Plus, Weirin is a priest. will get better over time. We're going to be able to heal people with magic. And there's a ritual opportunity coming soon. Right. Beltine at the end of spring. Traditionally, though, Beltine is for after all the crops have been planted, so I don't know if we will actually have everything done in time. Admittedly, probably not. For now, though, let's try and get this worked on. While they're doing that, let's make sure that they have a place to sleep. So, there's 4 corners in here. Let's take this corner right here. And we'll go ahead and put some sleeping spots down there. That'll give them somewhere to sleep. They're not going to be happy about it. They're just going to be sleeping on the ground, but at least we'll know where to find them. We should probably go ahead and set up our schedule. Everyone will be able to get a full night's sleep, but I don't necessarily want them to be dedicated to 8 hours of sleep. They'll all go to sleep at the same time, but they can get up whenever they want. Alright, the walls are done. The roof is going up. Will it be done before they all go to bed? Probably not. And the nights are so dark. That is another mod that I have in. It's called Realistic Darkness. It does make the nights darker. However, we are children of the light, and that will make the light all the brighter. Speaking of being children of the light, I suppose I should introduce you to Ideology, since this is the first series I've done on it. And if you're familiar with RimWorld, or you've been following me, you haven't seen it yet. And if you're here because you enjoy the Wheel of Time and you're not familiar with RimWorld at all, well, this will be a good introduction. This is our ideology, and as you can see, there are many of them. And this dictates how we are going to be running our colony. So I'll cover this while everyone is sleeping. So first off, we do have a belief. We believe in the Creator. I mean, how can we not? We are followers of the Creator and the One Power. As such, we are transcendent, we are cultured, we respect our elders, and we believe in the light. Now, how does this come to benefit us, and how does this come to shape us? Well, first off, we venerate magic. Kinda. The Aes Sedai are servants of all, but at the same time, we help them to help us. We all have to do our part together. And we despise the darkness. We don't like fighting in it, we don't like living in it, and trust me, right now, everyone is very unhappy because it is very dark. I think. Darkness? Darkness? Okay, well, maybe they're not bothered by it yet. They will be later. Now, as part of the Aes Sedai, we do have roles that need to be played. We will need to have a leader, we will need to have a moral guide, and we'll have a second, or a third person rather. And this person is going to be the evaluator of novices. This is a role that was filled by many people, but now we have an official position for it. And we'll need them for the rest of this. We have rituals. So of course we have funeral services, and as I mentioned before, Beltine is coming. However, we do have some other things. First off, once we have an evaluator of novices, we will be able to take anyone and test them. If they pass the test, we can make them novices. They will be magically gifted. They will be able to touch the One Power. They won't be able to do anything with it yet, but they will be able to touch it and feel it. Once they've done that, then we can move them up and test them. And if they pass their accepted testing, they will move on to becoming fully fledged mages. And in doing so, they will become officially Aes Sedai. As in to say that everyone in the Aes Sedai must be magical. Of course, there's going to be normals. Not everyone will pass the testing. But it's how we're going to grow our numbers. And in doing so, hopefully, we will attract people from other places to come and join us. And people that we rescue may come and join us. These people, however, will not. Who are you? A group of poor travelers are approaching looking for help. The travelers are begging for 90 silver. They want the silver so they can buy back a friend who was recently kidnapped. We can give the items to the travelers by selecting a colonist, yes, yes, yes. Or we can do nothing. We can move on. Do we have any silver to give them? We have 200. You know what? Let's do this. The Aes Sedai are servants of all. And they are definitely, above all things, not stingy. We will fulfill this. There we go. Thank you, Wirren. They have their alms, and now they're leaving. Now, depending on what you want to do, you can totally attack them if you want. But it kind of comes down to why. Why make enemies when you don't have to? Okay. And there we go. We have shelter. We have an enclosed room here with all of our stuff in it. Well, almost. As soon as Camino gets done, it'll be done. So that takes care of shelter. Next, water. Remember your 3s of survival. You can last 3 hours without shelter, 3 days without water, 3 weeks without food. Oh, and 3 minutes without air. But fortunately, we don't have to worry about that. So, water. We've got these drawing spots. And in here, we'll just tell them to draw some water. Not too much water. And we'll just copy this over to everything else. And there we go. Now, Wirren has gained a deeper understanding of magic and has gained a new level. So this is how this is going to work. This is how the magic system works. This is how my Aes Sedai work. Now, magically gifted people, when they turn into fully fledged mages, fully fledged Aes Sedai, will always have a specialty. They will be strong in something, but, I mean, that's like the only thing they do. So, for example, Wirren here is a priest. And as a priest, he can heal and he can buff. So, at level 1, we have 1 point to spend. And since we already have Bestow Might, I suppose we should go ahead and buff it. And the more things that Wirren does, the more experience Wirren will gain, and the more points will be available. Alright, so we have shelter, we have water. Now we need food. And we are next to some good ground. It's not great. It could definitely be better. But I think we can get a couple of farms out of this. So let's see what we can do. I'm thinking we'll make these 14 by 14 so that they'll scale with the rest of our buildings. You know, except for the really big ones or really small ones. So there's one, and that covers a lot of the ground. And if we came down... Actually, no, I don't like that. What if we take advantage of this spot down here? There we go. That'll give us a farm that is almost entirely fertile ground. And then maybe we do a couple of smaller ones? I'll think about it. For the time being, though, this should be good. And in the meantime, let's add some gardens. Hold on, people. Don't go gardening yet. Alright, there's our first garden. First things first, we need some food now. So we'll do some rice. We'll do some corn. And we'll do some strawberries because, you know, who doesn't like strawberries? We'll get some hay grass because it's useful for a lot of things. Some heel root so we have medicine. And some cotton. And that should be good for now. Yeah, that's going to be good for now. What do we have up here? We have coal and we have iron. And if we put coal and iron together, we can get steel. Not bad. It's close, it's convenient. I can't wait. So, is everyone set on growing? Not everyone. Camino wasn't, but you know what? You are now. And let's get all this set up now. Alright, so first off, the only person who can do anything with magic right now is Weirin. Even though Weirin doesn't really have the skill. It's a combination of intellectual crafting, and Weirin just doesn't have any of those. I'll turn on manual priorities. And we'll get these set up. So everyone's going to draw. Everyone's responsible for nuclear power, if somehow we get there. Resource management, hauling, cleaning. Those are important. Those are super important. And then afterwards, I will just do what I normally do. Strong passions, get a 1. Weak passions, get a 2. If you have no skills and no passions, it's a 4. And if you have skills, but no passions, it's a 3. Just like that. And give me just a moment, and I will have all of this done. Alright, done. That's all set up. So now everyone has their task that they are to perform. And so far, everyone is doing a really good job of farming. We have a lot of people that really enjoy growing, so I was never worried about this getting done. While they're working on that, however, we should work on getting ourselves a home. Because we can't live in this room forever. We can't do it. We need to have a proper room. So, I want to make sure that I leave walkways between all the buildings. So I'm going to come over here like this. We'll measure out 4 spaces. That'll make sure to leave room. But we're not going to get there first. That was fast. Already there's a manhunter pack. A pack of manhunting Bengal cats have entered the area. Driven insane by the disease known as scaria, they will roam the region hunting for humanoid flesh. Well, it's time for us to go to work then. Where are they? Where are... it? Oh, there's 2 of them. Alright, our first challenge. If we fall to this, well, I mean, I guess we had it coming. This does give us a chance to, this gives us a chance to try this out. So, bestow might. Alright. Wherein you have bestowed might upon black. So, where are those cats? Just kind of wandering. Wait, I thought that you had scaria. Huh, well. Much ado about nothing, then. Everyone can go back to their work. You're going to meditate outside. That's good. Oh, one thing that I've forgotten that we need, because this is necessary for every RimWorld game, because without it, the entire game will fail. We need the Holy Hoopstone. Praise be unto it, it is the savior of colonies, and failure to build one is certain doom. Sometimes you have the Holy Horseshoe Pin, but we only have a Hoopstone. That's fine, it does the same thing. Alright, so we're only going to make one room for a barracks. We'll get better things later on, but for the time being, it's going to be a barracks. Now that that's done, we just need to build it. So we'll copy this. We'll come over here. We'll make some walls. Seeing as how this is just a barracks, we only really need to have one door going in and out. After all, we don't want to have traffic going through it. Once it's built, we'll be able to move all these sleeping spots over, but we'll also be able to make a kitchen and other stuff. As a matter of fact, we should probably work on that now. So one of the things that we're going to need is a washroom. Because we do have the hygiene mod. So we're going to need some latrines. Otherwise, people are going to be very unhappy when they have to do it outside. And they probably already are unhappy. So, yeah, we're already behind on that one. We'll install some stall doors. That'll be good. We'll need to put a well in. We'll put the well right there. We'll introduce some washing basins, and there we go. We have ourselves a nice little washroom. That'll keep them happy. Then we'll be able to turn some of this into sleeping area, and then, yeah, we'll put the sleeping area back here in this corner. We'll put the kitchen and dining up here until we can get ourselves proper kitchens and proper dining rooms. It's a start, though. It's a lot to put on them right off the bat. Oh, and even worse. Rats? So it says that the rats have been driven insane, but they look pretty sane to me. I don't think we got to worry about them. That, however, is going to be a problem. An unusual drought has set in. Drought is devastating for plant life and will quickly prevent all crops not planted in hydroponics or high fertility soil to grow. That is not good, because we're not going to have any food. We have some berries, but berries aren't going to go very far. And I think we're almost out of the pemmican that we got. Yeah, that's all we got left. Wow, so right off the bat, the wheel is not being friendly to us. It's okay, though. We're going to make it through this. It's going to be okay. At least with the garden being planted mostly in the soil, it'll be fine. It'll be fine for a while at least. We will probably have to go hunting, so let's look at what our options are. So, looking at the local wildlife. There's alpacas. They're good. We can get hair off of those. And meat. Meat's good. There's donkeys. Ibexes. They're always good. There's some options in what we can do. I don't really want to go hunting for anything, though, that can fight back. That seems like just a recipe for disaster. Speaking of disaster, though, if we're going to avoid starving to death, we're going to need to deal with those animals that we do bring in when we bring them in. We'll need a butcher table. So get that one done. Not only that, but if we bring in some animals, it will probably give us the ability to make some bedrolls. That way people won't be sleeping on the ground. And I'm going to go ahead and move everybody in here. Yep, I know. They've been unassigned. It's okay, though. They have new bed spots. Actually, I'm going to move these up here. There's a method to my madness. Just trust me on this one. We are going to run out of food very soon, though. So I may have to start telling people to go hunt. When we hunt, I want you to butcher everything we bring in, and we're going to need campfires to cook on. So, campfire there, and campfire there. Trust me, I have a method to my madness here. It'll make sense in a minute. And I'm going to put this here. I'll take out those spots because they're going to be occupied by campfires, and you don't want to leave things in the campfire. But this storage spot will be preferred, and it's going to be for meals and water. Also, there's a mana surge right now. I did see it. The planet's celestial alignment has shifted, causing a surge in mana. All creatures attuned with magical powers will gain mana at an increased rate. Which is nice. Alright, so, for this, I want to make sure that we're using all meat to make pemmican. We'll make meals when we have to. And I also want you to boil water. So make simple meals. Just make one meal for all the colonists. Or at least for each colonist. So you don't go nuts on that. And same thing for this one. Just do one for everyone. And that should be good for that. So now if I check the map, there's one thing that was uncovered. There's a dead rat right there. Someone's eating good tonight, but we probably should look at hunting. So we're just going to hunt everything. Except we're not going to hunt anything that fights back. And that'll make that easy. So hopefully somebody can bring in some food. Then we need to have a place to put the food, actually. So if I go to storage, we have these food baskets. And I can put the food baskets in like this. At the same time, we need to have the food baskets. We need to have somewhere to eat our food. I can put in some tables. And some stools. And hopefully we can get this done soon. We'll also need to put in a floor at some point, but a floor is going to take a lot of wood, and I don't think we have a lot of wood left. Yeah, we only have 284 wood. So, solution, let's chop some. There's 33 trees that are in our home area. We'll chop those down. And that will give us something to work with. With any luck, though, we can at least get this built. Oh, you were so close. You almost had it. Alright, so I need to have baskets for food and vegetables. So we're going to make this important. And we'll make this vegetables. We'll copy it over to this one. And we'll make this one meat. So clear all, important, meat. And that should keep all the food right next to where they need to work. I'm sure that we'll need more storage later on, but we don't need it right now. Alright, how are we doing? There's a turtle. Oh, and we got that other food basket built. Excellent. Alright, very good. And we now have turtle meals. The heroes are now in a half shell. Alright, plenty of wood chopped. We have our tables. We have our baskets. The only thing left now is they do expect a Beltine. And seeing as how I am getting rather long on time, I think we should do it. So one last good thing before we end the day. I guess I'll put this over here. We should get these rocks out of here as well. We'll put them around the outside of the building for like a little bit of extra protection. I don't know if it actually works or not, but I like to think it does. And that way we can set these for hauling, set these for hauling, and hopefully somebody will move those out of the sleeping area. There, now nobody's sleeping on rocks. And they're not going to be in here to interrupt our Beltine. Which, speaking of, let's do it over here where there's more light. Alright, so Beltine, only 61%. We don't have a leader. It's not being started at an altar. It's not being started at a lectern. It doesn't have a kneel pillow. There's only so much that I can do. But maybe we'll take care of some of that next time. For now, though, let's just have our Beltine. Weirin, if you would lead us.
Although we have only been here a few days, I can tell that we are strong. That strength comes from our unity and cooperation. As we celebrate this Beltine, we must always remember, we are all one people with one cause, a brighter tomorrow.
Well, that was a lovely speech. And now, we party hard. Kinda. I don't know, it's not really much of a party, but, you know, it's fine. Everyone's just kind of relaxing. If we had food, they'd be feasting, I'm sure. But we don't have any food yet. The food is growing. We'll get it eventually. This may be kind of a lackluster Beltine, but I can promise that at least next year it'll be better. Instead, for now, we do the best we can with what we have. We enjoy each other, our company, our companionship, and we look to the future. It'll be a bright future, I'm certain of it. The music is nice, though. I don't know where it's coming from, but it is nice. I think the party's almost over, too. Yep, party's over. However, it was a fun Beltine. The Beltine was fun. Everyone appreciated the chance to relax and have fun together. Everyone participating in the ritual gets +5 mood for the next 6 days. We got 10 goodwill with Mirandy. And the total quality was 61%, which was right on the nose. Lovely. So now everyone will get some rest. They'll rest up for tomorrow, where we need to do more hunting. And pretty much just more hunting. And Comlin has food poisoning. Well, that's bad. But that's because you didn't cook it first. Don't worry, it'll get better. So, I hope you're excited about the next coming episodes, just like I am. I'm still nervous, but that's just because I feel like I'm living up to some pretty big shoes. But I think that I can fill them. At least, I can fill them enough. So remember, if you want to see more of the Rim of Time, and you want to see us reach the new Age of Legends, then subscribe. Hit the bell icon. This is going to be a very long series, so you want to be here for every video as soon as it comes out. If you know somebody else who loves RimWorld or loves the Wheel of Time, share this video with them. Get them to subscribe and hit the bell icon too. Then come back, leave a like, leave a comment down below. Remember, if you leave a like and a comment down below, tell me you want to be in here, and I will put you in here. We already have Weirin. There's still 4 other colonists so far that can be claimed, and there'll be a lot more on the way. So leave a like, leave a comment down below to join us, and I will see you next time for more The Rim of Time. Till then, take care.